FM, a community service of Boyle Heights Arts Conservatory, broadcasting live on your FM dial and streaming on lpfm.la, guys. What is up? We are back out here again. We hope you enjoyed last week's episode with pro skater Brandon, man. Shout out to you, bro. You just got your pro board. Crenshaw Skate Club, and I just saw too when I was coming out here before I left, I saw that they got the Randy's Donuts Crenshaw Skate Club collab coming out, which is pretty dope. Good movement out there with my boy Brandon. Shout out to you, and also too shout out to Cody for the hookup on that. And then I do want to thank my sponsors. I want to thank Hippie all the way over from Hawthorne, California, man. Hippie Streetwear out there. Tap in with my boy Kuya. We got that album release party coming out on 4/20, sponsored by my guy. Shout out to you, bro. It's already mad love all across the board. But today, we are here to promote another event, an event that we are going to be debuting our street team at. Me and Mercutio X. Shout out to my dog Merc. All love out there too, bro. And we're going to be pulling up April 27th to the Maddd Flavor Fest in DTLA. And we got the curator, the founder. Everything you want to say.
The creator.
We got him here in the building tonight, and we are excited to get this interview in. And introduce yourself, Maddd, where you're from, and who you are and what you do, bro. Welcome to the show.
Yo, it's Maddd Boyyy, that boy, you know the deal. I'm out here from Orange County, representing Anaheim, California.
Ooh, Anaheim.
Yeah, man, I just came up to come see what was good out here. You know, I had to come represent Orange County out here in LA. Now that the show, my show, Maddd Flavor Fest, started in Orange County. We've grown a few years. This is going to be the fourth one, and I decided that it was time to venture out into another space. Yes. So we're in LA this time.
Similar thing with me. I did a couple shows last year. I actually started my events in Fullerton, DTF, right across the street.
No, I actually live right down the street from Fullerton.
Nice. Yeah, I started my whole showcase in downtown Fullerton, across the street from the Slide Bar. This is a venue that I was working with at the time, and right then and there, I even had some of the bigger artists that I booked. I had Afro at that event, and he was one of the people that gave me some advice. He's like, yeah, man, he's like, you got a lot going on here. You could really, I think you're already ready for that new venue. So that's when I made the leap all the way to Hollywood. I was like, yeah, we're going to go do a show out there. So I feel that, there's a time and place for everything. But for you, first question here, what made you be like, man, like I got 3 good Maddd Flavor Fest on lock? Like, what was the final? Was it a business decision with some partners? Was it a mental decision? What was it that made you bring it to DTLA?
Oh no, we just outgrew like Orange County. I looked around and tried to find facilities that would allow me to throw the event, two, what I was doing, because it's like a half comedy, half music. We got food. We got all kinds of artists. We got street artists doing graffiti.
And we got dancers too, right?
Or sometimes it just depends. They might be special guests. They come out and do stuff, or like we'll have people come out and hit the stage and just have fun and goof off, kind of like entertain the crowd. But it's like a mixture of like, that's for the whole thing, Maddd Flavor Fest, all the flavors, you know what I mean?
So, is the comedy on one stage and music?
This year, yes. So, every year up until now, so shout out, like, we've had Renee Vodka, we've had Adam Ray. This year, it's going to be Jay Valentino, shout out Jay Valentino. So, like, we always used to share the stage, but now this year we're splitting it, and I'm going to have 2 stages. So I'll have a comedy, more of a loungy vibe with, like, couches and chairs and more of a sit-down.
Like laugh and,
like if you're there for the comedy, you're going to be comfortable to sit down and hang out and chill. And if you're there for the turn-up, you go inside and go to the main stage, and it's louder, and the lights are lower, and there's more going on.
And you can stand up and hit the pit if you want to.
Whatever you want to do, yeah. So it's like, it's kind of like a best of both worlds. I encourage people to come out early, experience the whole thing, 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. The people who show up early get goodies. They get free stuff. There's all kinds of contests during the middle of the day to win all kinds of cool stuff. So
this starts at 3 o'clock, correct?
3 o'clock, yeah.
And I'm going to say rideshare? Is rideshare encouraged? How's just for,
So there is parking. I mean, you will be able to find parking. If you show up late, you'll just have to park further away and walk. And, I just recommend, if you want a good spot, come early.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't want to worry about parking, Uber. I strongly encourage Uber, because it's like, if you want to be there all day enjoying yourself, smoke a little, watch some comedy, chill, drink, smoke some more, eat, turn up, do a show, leave, buy some stuff, take home some cool fucking streetwear, take home some streetwear, have a good time. And it's like, so we encourage you to be there the whole day. It's not really like just pop out for an hour. It's like, come out and enjoy.
Yeah, no, that's the big thing, is you got to be able to sell this thing, because also too, you're in a prime location. It's on a Saturday too, which is also ideal, because 3 to 10, I know how LA works. I mean, I'm from the Bay Area, but down here, things aren't really starting to pop off. Like, your night 11:30.
Yeah,
So that's the pregame right there
yeah,
in LA.
and I always do
that.
it the weekend after 420 because I feel like 420's been around for a long time, so all the big dogs kind of have it like locked down for 420.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I'll just do the last weekend of April, kind of like the come down off of the whole 420 month. But what's cool about it is it's Saturday, so it's like, yo, if you're gonna make the trip to downtown LA, you can party, hang out with us, leave at 10, and you can night's young.
Yeah.
You can still, you're already in a good mood. You can go out and do what you got to do. You know what I mean?
And how far, like, really, I mean.
And we're talking $20. The event's $20. It's nothing.
Yeah.
It's
and
nothing.
Go bring, like, you and your friends, too, and have a great time.
Yeah.
And on these, on the tickets, too, is it a sense of urgency, too, for people right now? Is there a low ticket
I mean,
one?
hey, man, if you want to spend less, get them now.
Yeah.
Because April 1st, they're going to go up, and then they'll go up again, like, April 15th, like, right before the event.
Just a stage, like, certain
Yeah,
stages,
like, it's just one of those things. If you want to be there, we encourage you your support of the event, so get the tickets early. We're giving you a discount.
Yeah.
If you choose to show up last minute, once you've heard the hype and you want to be involved in, well, now you might have to pay an extra $5 or $7. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna kill you. It's not gonna go up to 100. You know what I mean?
Like
it's
some
gonna
people
it's gonna be 20, 25, or 30 at the door. You know, you show up at the door, you're gonna spend 30.
So what are some origins of Maddd Flavor Fest? Like what you as an artist, because I started my showcase and everything I do based off me performing, being like, man, I don't want to pay people to do this, or I don't want to do this, blah 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 blah. So what made you start this? Was it?
It was never, like I was expressing to you a couple minutes ago. It wasn't even an idea like that. It was a album release party for my album Mad Vibes, and I know a lot of people in like the cannabis space and a couple people that have like clothing lines and stuff. And I was like, well, I just don't want to do a typical like, let me just go do some songs at a club or something. So I was like, oh, I'm going to invite these brands. I'm going to have some food vendors in the front. I'm going to do whatever. This is like my album release party, trying to make it like a little bigger. We had stuff going on, And in the same moment of me building that up, I realized like, oh man, it would be cool if this was like an event and I had my other homies performing, and then maybe I could add comedy because I've always like had a love for comedy, and I feel like comedy and hip hop and rap go to hand in hand.
Exactly.
I feel like 4 years ago when I kind of manifested the Maddd Flavor Fest with like comedy and music, all of a sudden I saw Dave Chappelle and Busta Rhymes going on tour, and I was like, see, I'm on the right wavelength. Like I'm on the right path if these bigger people are seeing the idea that people like comedy and they also like rap and hip hop. It's the same energy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the thing too, actually. It's great to see the power of when genres or anything come together. Like it's an example, like back in the 80s when you had Aerosmith and Run DMC do that remix for Walk This Way.
Yeah.
You had the power of rock and roll and rap come together.
Yeah, it was one of those things. It was like both had got so big they had to fuse. You know?
And so it was just I have this idea, I have this vision, and then how long did it take you from that moment then to actually get it down, like on some paper, you're seeing what's going on?
So the first one went the way it went, and then I went back and was like, that was pretty cool. I kind of want to do that again and fix stuff and then really create it, like give it a logo, give it a name.
So that was Beta was the first one?
Yeah, pretty much.
What was the name of the first one?
So the first one was really Maddd Boyy's album release party,
Oh, okay.
And as I was getting closer to I wish I would have named it already because it would have been a cool idea to have named it. To me, it's like that was the first one for me because it was all the elements that I wanted. It just wasn't like a fully polished thing yet. So then we went to, I went to the drawing board. I created the logo that made it a little bit more real. I created the idea of like comedy and music, and then I've been drawing since I was like 4 or 5. Like most artsy creative people do like a lot of different mediums, so I've been drawing a long time, and like part of me is that type of artist to where like when I see other artists getting it through the artist lane, I'm like, that's what's up, because part of me is that, like, part of me is like drawing crazy characters and just doing canvases, but right now I just do it for the love of doing it. I just do it.
Is that why you have such a love for tattoos, I take it? Or maybe the art?
I mean, it could probably just be like expressive nature, like, because I didn't have any tattoos till I was like 22, 23, and then my grandma passed away. So when my grandma passed away, I got like an in memory tattoo for her. Yeah. And that just kind of sparked like I got one, now I got two, now I got 3. 4. And then, I mean, that started when I was younger, and it just took off, and then I felt like every year I got more tattoos and more tattoos, to where now I'm like, I'm pretty covered. Mind you, like my neck's not blasted and like my lower belly and like certain spots, but like for the most part, I'm pretty blasted, like on my all upper body.
Yeah, we got one creeping out of the hat.
Oh, my whole head's done.
Oh, that's really cool right there.
I don't know if you can see the whole.
We gotta show the camera. Ooh, look at that right there. Oh, that's a tattoo right there.
Yeah. I don't have a fresh shaved head right now, but it's cool.
Hey, I have to have. We had a guest who has a not that tattoo, but he has his head blasted. I asked him. I mean, well, he's an Army vet, so pain hits him a little different. But how many sessions? How long did that take?
The head was 2.5. I need to do another half a session, like for some white. It was probably roughly 10 hours, 12 hours or something like that.
What are you thinking the whole time on?
I'm going to be dead serious with you. I mean, I think the second time I was asleep the whole time. Like, I kind of planned it purposely. Like, I had stayed up late the night before, woke up really early. The tattoo guy came over early. I was like, I know I'm, like, tired and I'm not, like, really in the mood for this. So I ended up taking, like, I'm going to be real. I think I took, like, man, kids, don't listen to me. I'm not a role model. I think I did, like, 2 shots of NyQuil, so I thought I was like gonna force myself to fall asleep, and I was so tired already. I just knocked out. I was out for like 4 or 5 hours. He said,
"Homie just woke you up."
Yeah, he said the only problem was since I was so asleep, like I kept like randomly I would like reach up and try to slap him off my head because like obviously my body's like I'm not feeling this, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, that was the cool part. I just woke up and I had like the rest of my tattoo done. Yeah,
hey, that's like.
I mean, I'm just gonna be honest with you. The first time I did it, I was just a little buzzed. I think I had a couple shots or something while we started, and we did the sides. We did the sides and we did the back, and then when we did the top, like the crown, right in the middle, I was asleep. I woke up and I was like, oh.
Cool, I got a tattoo. Now I gotta clean my tattoo and just worry about that.
That was it, yeah. And then he told me I gotta come back for the outline for the white because I thought we were like done. And he's like, no, you got one more session for the white. And I was like, oh no, I don't want to do that right now. So.
But now you.
It's been a minute, yeah. But now I'm down. Like it's been a minute. It's been long enough that I'm down to go back and finish.
And so with this, do you have at Maddd Flavor Fest? Do you have any kind of like tattoo or any kind of that like vendor or any?
Yeah, we did last year. We're probably gonna have it again this year. Like I know that. The guys that did it last year are probably interested in doing it again this year. I just haven't like set that part of it up yet.
Yeah. Because I noticed you had a little vendor space, so anybody out here listening, tap in with
you. Know what? That stuff's crazy. I put it up this morning that I needed 3 vendors, and I filled 2 of them within 2 hours. Yeah. So there's 1 spot left.
1 spot left.
It'll probably fill itself by the time I, get
when
back home.
When you walk out of here, you got a DM. Yeah.
It's like if you were smart enough to grab a space, you're gonna enjoy yourself. You're gonna have cool guests. You're gonna sell. You're gonna have a good time.
You're gonna interact and you're gonna network. And the thing I think what's important about the events that we do, Maddd, is people at first it's like if you're not willing to invest in yourself, that's on you. But people need to see the bigger picture because maybe say if you're working for us or you're participating with us or even if you're vending with us, they don't even see the amount of value because, hey, King Tech could walk up to someone's booth and say, man, I really like this product. I'm going to go show the homie over here. And then, your life changes. Or Valentine's just like, oh, man, like, I want to rock this merch. Because all it really takes,
like, a lot of people think it's overnight. It's never overnight. It's a lot of small steps. And then it's just like one moment that flips the switch. So like you said, someone could come up to you, see your product, grab it, wear your shirt, go up on stage. You don't even know they're a rapper. They wear it. People take pictures. All of a sudden, before you know it, that dude's on.
I want that because my favorite rapper has it.
He wears it on No Jumper or something, and you're like, oh shit,
exactly.
But that's cool. Yeah, I think that the interaction part and what I was gonna say earlier, just to get back to a second, was shout out Have in Motion. It's a clothing company from Orange County. They have a sweatshirt out right now that says "No risk, no story." And that's pretty much that's it. Like if you're not willing to take a risk on yourself or a risk on just having the lifestyle that you want, then there is going to be no story. You know what I mean? There's nothing that's going to happen because you're going to be too scared to make any kind of choices or moves. And getting back to the event, like I said, I never set out to do this. It was never like, oh, I want to start throwing festivals, or I was never like super popular in high school with like a lot of friends that went to parties. Like it was never like, oh, I was, part of a party crew. It was never any of that. It was just that as I got older, I realized I had contacts. I realized I had a network. I enjoyed like the idea of creating something from scratch. So just like branding it, creating it, and getting people to like absorb into what it is has been cool. And along the way, I've noticed like the natural growth. Like if you check our Instagram, we're not super huge. We got like 3,500 followers because it's like organic, original. Like I'm not paying for anything. I'm not going to go out of my way to like bump up the views to look cool. It's like it'll grow naturally on its own, and each time I do it, people will grow that for me, and so that's what it is. I just want it to be real.
Similar with me, man. When I started my reels, it wasn't anything crazy. It was 100, 200 views. He's like, all right, cool, whatever, you know. Algorithm's not pushing. And now it's just been baby steps. It's been consistency is key because these companies, they monitor how consistent you are. And if you're not consistent, you're not, you know, they're not going to push your brand. And it's weird, too, because I see the thing that kind of is weird now with social media is, you know, those people that are like, oh, you got to do this and that and this and that and da-da-da-da-da. I feel like there's too much of that. Like,
yeah.
You know, like just...
I think that's just with anybody, right? Like if somebody was telling Elon Musk how to do whatever, or telling, you know, whoever how to do stuff, you know what I mean? Sometimes you just kind of got to walk your path and just do it how you do it, and trial and error and get up and fail. Like that's kind of like really important, you know, because then you kind of build your character, you build a little tenacity. So it's like almost good to just not listen to anybody and just start. Just start doing it and figure it out, you know?
Yeah, that when I started, I was over giving people money. That was my whole thing. I was like, God, I'm sick and tired of paying you this money. It's not bringing me the value that I want, right? I'm going to create value for people. And so, like, with you, when you go out and get guests, do you have people approach you? Like, how long have you been into the music scene? We'll start there to answer this question.
Well, I mean, I've been doing music, since I graduated high school. I started taking it real serious after high school. So I would say, I mean, I've been in it 10, 15 years. You know, I've been in it a while.
Yeah.
So
like mid 2000s, like 2007, 2008 is when it really picked up? Or?
When I really started, like, trying to take it serious. You know what I mean? Like, when I was, like, shooting videos and, like, putting up stuff and trying to learn, like, about distribution and, like, having... You know, just having an idea of what it was. But I won't lie. Like, I didn't really start taking, like, a real push towards like any sort of brand until like my late 20s, when I realized like, oh, I need to like really brand myself, you know. And so then like
brand management.
Yeah, like Maddd Boyyy was created. Maddd Boyyy actually stands for Manifest All Dreams. Like it's like the character, like I want people to see the Maddd Boyyy emoji logo and I'm synonymous with it. Like I want it to become one day where like every time you see that Maddd Boyyy emoji, you're like, oh, that's Maddd Boyyy. That's that you know, white rapper with all the head tattoos or whatever the hell you're gonna compare me to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like you're gonna see that and think that. You know, and
yeah.
and my friends already do that. Like it's funny if they see anything with that, they'll like take pictures of it and send it to me because it's like funny. You know, like anything with a Maddd Boyyy, you know.
Yeah, no, but that you have to be confident. You have to have confidence, and that was like me. I went and tried out for Bars on Wheels. And, like, when I was doing that, man, they're like, man, the only reason you're still in this room is your confidence level right now is through the freaking roof, you know? Walk up in slides or, you know, you don't really present yourself that way, but how you come off and how you present yourself then when it's time to put the tape, you know, press play on the cue and really let it rip, you know? And so for you, when you were establishing yourself, maybe let's talk a little bit about the style of your music. What type of genre? Hip hop, yes, but what is there a subgenre tied to it?
So really, like growing up was everything, you know, like No Doubt, you know, Linkin Park, Eminem, Limp Bizkit, Cypress
Rap
Hill,
metal.
like all that kind of stuff was real popular, you know. Like I listened to Chili Peppers and Korn, and like I mean, it was like a mixture of like Kiss FM and Power 106 and all that stuff, you know, like growing up. And then, you know, in high school, it started to get more like DMX and Ice Cube and Rough Riders and who else was like, you know, Lil Wayne and stuff like that started.
Lil Jon was popping.
Yeah,
still.
you know, and it's just like it started to like, and at that point I'm just like somebody who loves music, so I'm listening to everything.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I think once, like I told you, like later on when I started taking like the music side kind of like real serious, I noticed that my love and my attention span for music kind of like went backwards. Like I really don't have time to listen to music, and I don't kind of want to. And like that's a weird part, but it's a part of being. It's like a part of being an artist is like I don't want to be influenced, and I kind of want to be my own thing.
Yeah, because when you put like, say you're listening to Suicide Boys or something, and then you're like, oh yeah.
Like if you're listening to Suicide Boys for 4 months straight, and you go to the studio, like you're gonna have some Suicide Boys in you. You know what I mean? Like you're just nothing you can do about it. You know,
you're gonna crush your head with a pill or something.
Yeah. So what I try to do is I try to just stay away from listening to stuff. And my son, he's 15. Shout out my son, Ryder. What's up? He hates it when we like drive to school because I mean all I do is talk to the dude. I don't ever have music on, so he gets sometimes he's like, hey, can we put some music on, or like on the way home on the way from school, and I'm just like,
that's kind of rough,
you know, and I'm just like, hey bro, like I'm a talker, I'm a thinker, and like this is time for me to like really get one-on-one with you in the car, so I spend a lot of that time like talking, you know, or like if I'm by myself, I'm doing a lot of time thinking.
Yeah, maybe there might be something you actually got to talk to him about. Like he's 15.
Yeah, exactly. I love the time that we get to spend just sitting in the car, you know, and we're just that 15
and is he
minutes.
into music or anything? Or?
I mean, he's into music. He likes beats and stuff, but he's really more into like fashion. He's a fashion guy. Like he really likes his fits and like.
Gotta have drip.
Yeah, like he's really about that. Like me, I'm kind of low key. I'm casual. I'm like white tee and like a simple shit.
Old,
like
yeah, old head.
Yeah,
old
you know,
vibe,
like it's easy. Like I'm not going too far with it. Like I look cool on some easy shit.
But
like
he'll throw something together.
I mean, it's the shoes. It's the weird little shoe boots. It's like the weird kind of big ass. Like it's crazy because he's into like the super huge pants are coming back. You know, like the super huge,
baggies.
like the Jinko jean,
like the '90s rollerblade.
humongo pant. Like they're huge. You know what I mean? And then like the big shirts and stuff. And a lot of the shirts he's rocking is all stuff I wore like in high school. I just laugh. I'm like, that's funny. You know, and like that shit that I used
But
to
then
wear.
you look at but then you think like, oh wait.
Yeah, like, but it's all good. Like, I'm not one of those. I'm like, hey, man,
You're letting him learn.
You're gonna change 2 or 3 times, and I already know that, so it's cool. Like, live this little.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, whatever. It's all
But,
good.
well, I mean, does he talk about like being passionate in fashion, where he's like, oh, I want to go to an art institute. I want to go study fashion.
Maybe not that far, but he definitely wants to make a
Like a own clothing brand.
like he wants to make a resellers page where he can like resell drip that he knows is fire, like find it from thrift stores in different spots, and then
okay.
like a reseller, like oh, these are pieces you want. Like I went and hand picked these out of spots, and like these kids.
Like this is what you can. Pull
Yeah,
because
like when he goes to school right now, like kids are seeing his fits and they're like, "Bro, what is this? This is crazy. Like, let me get your pants. Let me get your jacket." You know, like this kid makes me drive him all over the planet, and his grandma drive him all over the planet to find this stuff, like different little hole in the wall spots and thrift
But
stores.
then you're like, get him on the street team.
Hey man, I'm easy. I'm like, I tell him like anything I've ever worn like on stage, like to be, you know, say stage drip. I go buy pants for like $60 and I make them myself. I throw bleach on them. I put some paint on them. I draw on them. I rip them up. I'll burn them a little bit. Drag them on some shit. Just give them that look.
Do a burnout on them.
Yeah, you know. And then I'm like, cool. Those look cool. I made a $60 pair of pants look like super cool. I added like.
And they probably think I paid $1,000 for
Bro,
it, right?
every time I go somewhere, they're like, those pants are tight or whatever. I'm like, I made these things. If you only knew, I made them like in not even trying in 20 minutes, because that's kind of what fashion is. It's kind of just.
Throw it together.
Fucking have fun with it.
Well, also too, with art is super subjective,
right?
Because for me, I mean, I be doing stuff all the time. Like I don't really pay too much attention to it, and the pieces that I always thought were the dumbest and the stupidest end up selling for the most money.
Yeah, because you do music outside of this.
Yeah, I do music.
So
yeah.
Music. You're a host, radio show. So I'm sure, like I said, most creative people. Like I have to, when I cook food, my food has to look pretty. You know what I mean? Like I gotta put the sauce on it right. I gotta drip the little green onion little cuts on top. I gotta you know what I'm saying? I gotta make it look pretty when I give it to you, because that's just like an extension of my brand. It's like an extension of me.
I used to be a chef in Santa Cruz for years.
So you get it. It's like
my slogan is you eat with your eyes before you feast.
Of course.
Because if the meal presentation isn't like, if it doesn't look inviting, I don't want it.
Yeah. That's the first thing.
You eat with your eyes before you.
Like food looks good, you're like, oh, I want that. You know, I want to try that.
Like just because they might have put some green onion garnish with a drizzle of some, you know, unagi sauce or something on there. You know, it's just like it just.
Yeah, presentation is nice.
Presentation is key. But really quick though, we are gonna take a little intermission here.
All right.
We're gonna just run a couple tracks here. Get the playlist. I got the clean playlist. You know, don't worry, parents out there. I'm not gonna ruin
Keeping
your kids.
clean.
I'm not gonna ruin your kids' life quite yet, but once they're 18, that's their own decision.
I don't know if I have any clean. Like I might have 2 clean records, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know, and that's pressing.
But make sure you check out though Maddd Boyyy on all those DSPs.
Yeah.